Like this one?
This is a very special day and a very special episode. This is going to be episode 1 of the Conquer podcast.
I'm the first guest.
I got my very special guest, my boy Ghazi. Straight, he's in the house right now, and we had to take advantage. We had to get together and actually knock out this podcast. Something we've been talking about for a good while, and we've been trying to like get it going. So this is everybody that's watching this is a very special moment because
it's episode number 1.
Like I originally met Ghazi. Ghazi's a really good friend of mine.
Right at the gym.
We met back when I was in college. I was still doing my undergrad. I could have, bro. I would have just got the out of college as soon as possible. Cause then after I got out of college, I discovered really what I wanted to do, and I would have saved myself so much money by not taking out loans if I would have just jumped straight into my passion and not going through the college route. It depends on what you're doing, bro. I think if you're trying to go into the technical route and you're trying to do maybe some, if you learn some development, some IT. At that right there, that's a good investment because you're learning some very technical skills. Or engineering. I think
it really depends what sector of the economy you're going into. Right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of options, right? So academics used to sort of be the path through which you gain like access to like the higher paying jobs and stuff. That's not the case anymore. You got a lot of like, for example, like technical training. All these like technical courses, IT courses, stuff like that. The economy's diversified a lot with the internet, and stuff like that. The way people work has changed. So I think really society and the economy is really evolving, and so the relevancy of academics to how much money you're gonna make has changed as well. I guess
Yeah, man. Yeah, I completely agree. College. One thing that a lot of younger guys, and this is one thing that I wish I would have realized way behind before I started school, when I was in high school, before I started college, is that college is a profit institution. Like the whole purpose of a college, of a university, it's not a non-profit organization. It's a profit organization. So at the very end of the day, they have their own books, they balance their own sheets, and they trying to make profit out of their students. Their clients are the students that go to the university. So college is a place that before you go into it, you already have to have a clear idea of what you want to do.
Yeah, that whole idea of I'll go in. And,
you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of bullshit.
I wouldn't agree.
Don't do that
because
it's
a lot of money, and you end up
a lot of money.
Do any of the stuff there.
Exactly, man. You're gonna spend a lot of money. You're gonna be jumping from one major to another, and then next thing you know, that bill is gonna come in the mail, and you're gonna have to pay it.
100%. That's the boat I'm in without the bills, bro.
Yeah.
I paid for everything up front, so I don't got loans or anything.
I had to take out a couple of loans, man. Back when I was in college, I had to pay for most of my college. I paid with some scholarships, and I got a couple of grants. But towards like the end, towards the later stages of my college career,
the funds run dry, man.
They started running dry. My parents really couldn't help me too much with college. So I had to make the decision. I had to make the executive decision at the time, and
sign your life away, man.
It's what made more sense.
Sign your kidney away, bro.
It's what made more sense for me at the time, and it's something that I look back at it and I learned a lot from it. But guys, college is not a place to be indecisive at. Figure it out as soon as before you go in. Start making some research of what you really want to do.
And if you don't need to go straight away, I think that's important. That you should take, because it's a big expense, right?
Yeah.
And it's quite a few years of your life. So rather than wasting time in there, alright, so every school, right, you're going to be doing the same general education classes, right?
Yeah.
So
your basics.
So you can knock that out at any community college anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And during that time, you figure out what you're going to do. You talk to people. You can, speak to people in different industries, read a bit, try to figure out exactly what it is that you think you could make good money in, and then set out a course for a few years and see if college fits into that. Then so like realize, I don't know, mechanical engineering right now, it seems to be a really booming industry. There's a lot of young hires. What I want to do is I'm gonna knock out my basic classes, get my engineering degree.
That's a
get
smart
an
way to do it.
That's so you have a set out plan.
Yeah,
If you're gonna go in and be like, you know, waste mom and dad's money, you know,
And if you don't have mom and dad's money, you're
that's the
going
other
off
thing,
loans.
coming out with $100 grand.
Fuck, man, you're gonna come out with a lot of debt.
Bro, I know people 15, 20,000 in after their first 2 years. I'm like, bro, you're halfway done.
Yeah.
You're 20,000 in.
Yeah, that's a tough part of college, man.
And people coming out with 50, 60,000 and like a zoology degree, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, if you want to do it, yeah, but like,
you want to stay away from those kind of majors because they're not gonna make you a lot of profit. They're not gonna make you a lot of return on investment for your education.
It's sort of like, I don't know. My view is that
STEM,
college,
bro. I would say STEM.
Yeah, but it's like
STEM.
if you're going to college to get a job, then you're gonna study what's gonna get you a job.
Yeah.
But if you have the free time and the resources available, right?
Yeah.
Like if you got 10,000 you saved up and you want to study history or zoology or freaking biology or like learn about the different rocks, right?
Yeah.
That's just your interest. Then you got the money and the time. Go ahead, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
But like, don't waste your your focus and everything and
get
cut out your earning abilities just to study that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You have to have like a good strategic plan when you're going through college and all that stuff.
And you don't. That's what I'm saying. You take your time and think about it.
Did you go to school here in the United States when you were like in elementary and like pre-K or did you?
What are you trying to say? I got my papers, man. What the hell, bro?
I thought you were born in Afghanistan.
Hell no, man. What the?
Oh, you were born?
What the hell?
For some reason, I thought you
What?
did.
Nah, man.
But your family's from Afghanistan, right?
Like, yeah, like 2 generations.
Oh, okay, I got you. My bad, dude.
No, from Pakistan.
Yeah.
North of Pakistan. KPK.
So where
you were born in Mexico, right?
No, I was born in California. I'm a first generation.
Baja California.
I'm Mexican, guys. I had to cross over. I jumped the border, bro. I swam the Rio Grande.
If you're trying to get my viewpoint, I'll be honest with you. I went in. I tried engineering. I couldn't do it. I sucked. Tried math, and that's where I'm at. Where I'm trying to finish that. But I just want to clarify. Like for me, I'm not studying it to necessarily get a job. I just like kind of interested in it.
Math.
Yeah. But I'm probably gonna switch to something else.
You said math, right?
Yeah, mathematics. Yeah. But I'm probably gonna switch to something else. But I don't know. My point I'm trying to make is that for me, I'm not necessarily looking at this as a way to get gainful employment, right? Like I got different stuff going on. I'm trying to take different practical classes, a bit more vocational training.
Yeah.
I'm more on that route. It's working out for me. And if it ever goes wrong, I always got the academic route to fall back on.
I've had a couple of different perspectives, and especially when I was back in school, and then when I graduated, and I've seen like the real world after graduating, and there's a couple of things, that I've learned in that process. Like I was mentioning before, like my parents were first generation immigrants, so I was the first I was like one of the first, or I was like second or third in my family to graduate college here in the United States. So for us, it was a big deal because, like I mentioned, my parents didn't go to college. They didn't, they went to school in Mexico, but they came over here and started working, and they managed to help me out a little bit in college to get through. And for us, like I think the mentality for a lot of first generation Latin American immigrants is like going to school, getting a good job to help your family. That's like the mindset for a lot of Hispanic Americans, first generation Hispanic Americans, and that's kind of like the mindset that I kind of developed when I was in college. I was all right. Let me try to get a high paying job, coming straight out of school.
Get
let
my
me
bang
recruit.
for my buck, kind of.
Yeah, I'm in school. Let me try to like find something that's gonna help me out the most. And what I kind of gravitated towards was information technology. I went into MIS and business. So I did management information systems, and I also did business administration. And then I also got like a second degree in entrepreneurship and stuff. So I did a little bit of both, but the biggest reason that I did that was because when I was actually studying and researching the companies that I wanted to work for, I was seeing that a lot of the companies, the highest paying salaries were in the STEM field, which was science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I thought to myself, okay, this is probably gonna be the best one that's gonna pay me the most coming out of school. And also, I've always had like a mentality in the back of my mind that I was gonna do some type of side hustle. So I also wanted to learn how to do websites and get a little bit more creative with the process of entrepreneurship.
So was that self-taught? Did you teach yourself, or did you sort of take a class or like a course, or was it literally just logging in, messing around on the different programming setups and teaching yourself?
Yeah, so
software.
I would say for the most part it's self-taught. A lot of these kind of things, if you're trying to build a website or if you're trying to, learn different things, a lot of it comes from you actually applying,
sitting down there in front of the screen, taking the time,
that whole
mess it up, and
it's like that whole self-development thing, actually investing in some books and some courses and just trying to learn like the craft, especially when it comes to building websites and that kind of technical work. You can learn it on yourself, but you really have to put in the time and the effort to learn it. You can learn it from a classroom, but I would say that when you actually do it from school,
it's practical. But when
it's more theory. It's more like you learn how to code. You learn different, different things like that. But so you don't really actually.
You're not there. Like, all right. So when you're doing it yourself, that like every day you're stuck there, sitting there, actually trying what you read. Yeah. Whereas in class, you just do it, write in a textbook, and sort of memorize that and regurgitate on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I think in school you get a lot of facts, a lot of knowledge,
the hands-on,
and they just try to like throw it at you. You try to regurgitate it, and then you throw it back out.
Okay.
And like for example, back when I was in college and I was doing those tech classes, a lot of it was coding. So you would learn like the basics of how to program and how to code. And one thing that I realized, like a lot of it wasn't as practical as it was like after you actually try to learn it yourself.
Yeah. Especially if it's outdated or something. Yeah, I got you.
It's more the theory of how things work. But I think one thing that really did help me out was like in the analytical mind frame, when you're actually coding, you're actually
how to structure the program.
And also like not giving up, because if you program, you're gonna realize really fast that you're gonna fuck up a lot when you're trying to program, and you can't let those stumbling blocks, like those roadblocks, get in the way to keep learning. So sometimes you gotta keep pushing through in the code, and then eventually you figure out what you're supposed to do.
With practice, like anything. Right?
Yeah, it's kind of like going back to like martial arts. I think it's in martial arts. It's like you kind of learn the hard way,
you can't learn just from reading a book.
Yeah,
you gotta go there and get your
exactly. Yeah. It's more of that hands-on.
Get your sweat on. Man.
You gotta roll your sleeves back, and you actually gotta jump in there. I think martial arts is a big reason why you learn so many things outside of martial arts that help you. Like I think in life as well.
You mean a lot of things in martial arts that help you outside?
Yeah,
actually,
and how to like overcoming like different obstacles too.
Yeah, I guess I think it's building the discipline that's required to like get up and go train and all that. That rigid training that you put yourself through forces you to like every day to day keep towards a schedule where you're doing repetitive processes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, perhaps one way of looking at it is that if you view everything you're doing as training, then you want to get the max benefit out of that training. So like a consequence of that is if you look at your whole life as like this doesn't sound probably as concise as it should be, but if you view everything as training, then you're constantly trying your best at everything because you want to see the maximum improvement.
Yeah.
Out of like you're gonna put the maximum effort, but you want the maximum result.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, definitely. You're trying to get the best out of it because you know that the only way you're gonna get better is by actually putting in the effort and trying to get better. Yeah. But I would ask you like when you said you started training since you were like 8.
Yeah, so like my dad always wanted me to go into martial arts.
Yeah. So like I guess my question for you there is like have you ever had like a time that you're just kind of like fuck dude, I just kind of want to quit already. Like I don't
Yeah, but like that's like every time when when you're out of breath, right? That's like, man, we already did 45 minutes today. Maybe that last 15 minutes will knock it far.
I'm saying more like you just kind of like you don't have like maybe the best day, and it just gets to the point that you just just kind of want to quit it already. You don't want
like
to
completely,
or just you just want to maybe do something else.
man. I don't know. You know what it is like. Growing up, we watched a lot of like, you know.
Because I think a lot of guys quit, man. Like I think a lot of guys that start off, especially in martial arts, or they're trying in a lot of things, they quit when it starts to get tough. And I think that like the best things in life are the hard things.
I guess I don't know. Like for me, like I was a big martial arts like fan, but like a nerd, right? So like growing up, we always watched like Bruce Lee movies, Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, Jet Li.
Yeah.
You know, we used to watch it, like watch Enter the Dragon, right? And like go down to a martial arts place, put my uniform on, and like kick and punch the target. So like I don't know. For me, I've always enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So like even on those days when it sucked, right? Like you're cramping, you don't want to go, or like work like you had like a 16-hour shift, and I don't want to go for an hour to jiu-jitsu. Like the feeling you get afterwards when you're like, hey man, I actually still went in, I did that. Like you know what I mean? I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's one thing to like. I think it's a different mindset. So like for someone that naturally enjoys it, it's a different thing. Like for them, like no matter how tough it gets, they're gonna have some inclination towards it because naturally they like it. Other people, like if some people like, there's nothing wrong with it, but some people like they have to force themselves, like to like want to train or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like so that's a different mindset. That's like a different approach. Like there's a different way you gotta approach that. There's a different way for someone that naturally likes it.
Yeah, and I guess like if let's say you have a little cousin, a little brother, and he was barely getting into martial arts.
I'm like that, man. Like
what would you recommend for them those first couple of months when shit's gonna get real? They're gonna get punched in the face. They're gonna get dropped. They're gonna get into some weird positions in jiu-jitsu.
I don't know.
What would you recommend for them to stick with it and just keep?
I mean, bro, because
eventually you're gonna get better.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna get better.
Bro, I'm in that mode. Like everyone's constantly in that, bro. Everyone's at my gym still at the mode. You know, guys got 10 fights, 12 fights. They're still.
But okay, I got you. But I know you've seen guys that they start off, they go maybe for like a month, 2 months, and then they don't show up anymore.
Oh, okay, I got it. How about this? I think a lot of people they like the image of training and all that, but they don't actually want to do it. So like you sign up for jiu-jitsu, right? Because you watch Royce Gracie tap a bunch of people out. And you're like, you know what? That looks cool. I want to try it. So you go down to the gym. You get your little uniform on. You do the star jump
like
warm
Goku.
up. Yeah. So you do your warm up. You do the star jumps. You're like, all right, I can keep up. All of a sudden, it's your first roll. And you can't breathe because you never worked out before in your life.
Yeah.
And you're in there, you're getting choked out, and you're in pain, and you wake up the next day and you're cramped, and you're all cramped up, right? I think at that point, it really depends on the individual. A lot of people will be like, you know what, man, that sucked, but I want to go back. I want to try it to the point it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Other people are gonna be like, man, I don't want to do this, right? So it depends. If you've set out training and martial art is something that's important to you, and I personally think it is. Like I think, like to develop yourself, you gotta know how to fight. You gotta get so.
I think it gives you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, that's
a lot of confidence anywhere you go.
There's a bunch of benefits to it, but I think like just as a basic thing, bro. Like how are you gonna go through life without knowing how to throw a 1-2? Like where do you get jumped? Like you know what I mean? So, I guess really it depends. Like if a lot of people naturally should be like, man, that sucked. I want to go back and keep doing it until I get better. I know a lot of people. I got like my cousin, mom, things like that, right? But at the same time, there's other people like, I don't really like that. It's not really my thing. So for that individual, it's sort of like they're in
maybe it's not for. You think maybe it's not for them?
It's not that. What I'm trying to say is that if they recognize the importance of doing it, they're gonna have to find a way to make themselves go back. And a lot of people do that. They're like, I hate this crap. Why did I sign up for it? I don't want to do it. But at the same time, they're thinking, you know what? At the end of the day, this is important. I am of the belief that this is something I have to do. So no matter how much it sucks, I'm gonna go back and show it up. Yeah. The other group of people that are just like, that was hard. I don't want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? That's the mindset. That's something that you gotta change.
I see exactly what you're saying. And I think a big thing is also it's just the way that you handle the little things is kind of the way that you can handle the big things.
That's characteristic though.
Yeah.
So like
if you
someone
give
that
up,
gives up like 'cause it was
easily.
hard, right? That means they're probably giving up on a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like, oh, man, this I don't want to do this. I don't want to do
It's
that.
like the little things shows how you do the big things.
Yeah.
Straight up, man. Like how you do, it's just the little details. That's how it's gonna. It actually, you know, it says a lot about you, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I think martial arts is perfect because, like, you know, you were mentioning it's gonna increase your confidence. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna learn how to fight. You're gonna be more sure of yourself anywhere you go.
And you know, a lot of people, they don't have access to like sort of. Arnold, you live somewhere there's no jiu-jitsu gyms, there's no boxing.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's not necessarily that. Then Arnold, go sign up for track. Go sign up for basketball.
Yeah.
Put yourself into a position where you're
That's a good
constantly
point. Yeah.
going through some physical difficultness. And I say difficulty, and not that it sucks, but like your lungs are working, your heart's pumping blood, you're getting a little lactic acid in your muscles, you're getting tired. Go home, oh man, eat some food, and you develop your body, right? You learn a lot of stuff.
Like you're actually doing something else.
Yeah, doing something. Yeah,
finding a way to be physically active.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what, like, finding that alternative.
Went through a bunch of.
It's always a pleasure, bro. Bro, it's I thought it was the jiu-jitsu.
Film it again. All right, man.